What's going on, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of the Quacks and Racks Outdoors podcast. Man, let me tell you, what a week it has been. Between work, sick kids at home, it's been quite the week. But you know what? I'm happy it's Friday. We got some duck hunting up over here on the TV. I actually took the day off. I just needed a mental break. First off, before we get into the topic of the day, I just want to kind of recap what we're doing with Quacks and Racks Outdoors. This is something completely new. We were known as Mock Schnell briefly, trying to get live hunt videos, things like that out. We're still going to do that. So we do have a YouTube channel. It's Quacks and Racks Outdoors. Same with our Instagram handle. You can find us there. So we'll try to do some reels, YouTube shorts, actual live hunt videos too. But the main meat of Quacks and Racks Outdoors is probably going to be this podcast that I'm going to try to do at least twice a month for you guys. I'm going to try to stay disciplined. A little hint into today's topic there. But I'm going to try to stay disciplined. Get this out, like I said, twice a month. And then hopefully maybe more as time persists if we continue to grow. Things like that. I think that was the recap I wanted to do. If you guys have any topics you want to discuss once we start diving into it, Quacks and Racks Outdoors podcast is going to be primarily focused around how do we, as avid hunters, passionate hunters, balance our life at home and then our drive and need to get into the great outdoors. What do we do to prepare for the season? What do we do during season? How do we get our families involved? We all have families, friends, work, other things outside of hunting, and we only get those 3 to 4 months every year to chase this passion. Like our intro says, I'm a very passionate hunter. It's not just something I do; it's a part of who I am. Let me know. Give me some topics to discuss. I hope to have some guests on here in the near future. I'm trying to network, reach out, things like that. Just know that this is completely unsponsored, and this is just a random guy hopping on here to chat and discuss like I said, how we balance that life and our time in the outdoors. That said, I wanted to do one more quick call out before we jump into today's topic, which is I just want to say thank you to my wife Emily. She's kind of pushing me in the direction to try to do this. She got me this awesome Quacks and Racks sign over my shoulder here for Christmas and my birthday. So she knows how much I love hunting. She supports it, even though it takes time away from my kids at the moment because they're younger. She really pushes me to get outside, chase this passion of mine, and really hopes that I have success doing it. So Emily, I love you. I thank you for pushing me to do this. I know she hopes this is like a retirement gig someday, and maybe guiding will be a retirement gig too someday. So Emily, thank you again. I love you. All right, so the recap's out of the way. Let's get away from the mushy stuff that I was just talking about, and let's get into what I wanted to talk about today. So I am a people leader at work for my full-time job. I manage 7 great employees. And with that, I'm always trying to learn and grow as a leader. My success comes from their success. If they fail, it's because I did something wrong. And with that being said, I got an idea. Shouldn't say an idea. I was listening to a podcast, and he probably talked about it a year ago. It's the Duck Dogs podcast by Josh Miller, and he was talking about the book Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. In the book, it's great. It talks about how you have control over everything, right? Kind of like I said, how if my team fails, it's because I failed somewhere, right? You are in complete and utter control no matter what goes on around you, right? So, in that book, it talks about dichotomies of leadership. And one of the ones that really stood out to me and I'm trying to put into my everyday life is discipline equals freedom. Okay? So discipline equals freedom. So let's sit and think about that for a minute, right? What do you mean? Because being very disciplined means you're very structured and routine and things like that, right? So how does that equal freedom? Well, the better you get at your structure and your routine, the more efficient you become, and that opens doors for other things, right? So, how does this relate to hunting? How does this relate to life at home? And how does this relate to the balance at home? Well, I think you can look at it a few different ways, right? So let's look at hunting first. Being strictly a hunting podcast, you need to be disciplined to get up in the morning. Disciplined to throw out the right decoy spread. Disciplined to get better at throwing out your decoy spread so you have more time to relax. So being disciplined allows you to be more efficient, gives you more time to relax, more time to enjoy the great outdoors. If you get your decoy spread out and you're efficient doing it because you're disciplined, if you need to make a change in your decoy spread, you can make it that much quicker. Disciplined to sit still in a tree so you see more deer. I mean, it opens the door to numerous possibilities, right? And being disciplined, having that constant discipline will always lead to further success, I believe. I'm not a psychologist here, but it's just something that has really resonated with me since reading the book. I can tell you that I try to be very more disciplined at home now. I would say I'm a very routine and disciplined person to begin with, but reading the book really opened up my eyes saying, hey, I can do this better, to give me more freedom, right? So that's in the hunting world. Just some brief examples. But I'm human, like I said, I'm not a doctor, psychologist, or anything like that. I can tell you this past hunting season, I was not disciplined about getting up in the morning. I probably missed some really good hunts just because I didn't want to get out of bed. So that's kind of how it relates to the hunting world. Now, how does this relate to life and balancing our life and hunting, right? I think it's important to be cognizant and disciplined to be home and give your kids and family full attention when we are at home, right? I try to leave work at work. I try to come home. I don't hop on my computer so I can focus on my time with my kids and my wife. In turn, that's going to give me the freedom to go hunting more often because I'm not going to feel as guilty about leaving them at home. Now, I hope my kids get into hunting as they get older. But at this point in time, they're too little, so I leave them at home. I go sit in the woods or the marsh, and sometimes I feel guilty about it because what if I was at work late? What if something came up where I couldn't be at home? Now I'm taking time away from my kids while they're young. Granted, I have a 1 and 4-year-old, so I don't want to miss a lot of these life moments that are going on. It's time away from my wife. I'm a big advocate of always date your partner, whether you're married or not. Continue to have date nights, have fun, go out, leave the kids at home every once in a while if you have kids. Continue to date, continue to build that relationship with your partner. But making sure that when you are home, be disciplined enough to give them your full attention. So when hunting season rolls around, you're not feeling guilty. You've put time in with them. And then the other part about being disciplined at home, be disciplined to get them involved. My son loves playing with duck decoys. I have a great video of him throwing decoys into his pool. It's awesome. Get them involved. Be disciplined about that. So when they do get older, you can take them hunting with you, and hopefully they have the love and passion for the outdoors that you have as well. So just be disciplined. I'm telling you, I'm working on it. I'm human. But, even looking at life in general, being disciplined, right? I'm ashamed to say it, an avid, I don't even know, avid probably is not the right word. I was a chewer for 12 years. I chewed tobacco for about 12 years. I have been chew-free for over a year now. I quit cold turkey, and it was because I was disciplined. I refused the need to have that chew in my mouth by being disciplined. And one more thing I want to say to that is I think discipline will override motivation 9 times out of 10. Motivation's great. You're chasing a large buck. Monster. World-class deer if you want. It's going to motivate you. It'll get you out of bed a few times. But what if that hunt drags on? What if you're chasing this deer for 3 months straight, right? You're getting tired. You don't want to get up in the morning anymore. You don't want to climb that tree. that motivation can only gonna last so long. But if you're disciplined, you will get up in the morning. You're gonna climb that tree. You're gonna do those all day sits to chase that monster deer. What if you've had a long duck season? This year's a prime example. Weather was awful for ducks, right? Up here in Wisconsin, I think we had one good push throughout the entire year. Did you get up in the morning? Because it was mid-year, almost all the way through the season. If you're motivated at the beginning of the season, yeah, you're going to get up. But then you get into that grind. You got to be disciplined to get up and get going, right? So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. Kind of a short episode. I hope these episodes get longer. Like I said, I'm going to try to get some desks on here. I want to know how others kind of balance this life at home and life at hunting. You know, we can all learn from each other. People handle it different ways. But just remember, discipline equals freedom. The more disciplined you are, the more freedoms you're going to have. And that's honest. That's an opinion, obviously, of course. But I think it's something that if you can become disciplined, you'll see endless possibilities open up for you. So thank you all for your time. If you enjoyed this topic, I hope to have some more topics like this. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please, if you can, share this with your friends. Subscribe to the channel. We can be found on YouTube at Quacks and Racks Outdoors, Instagram at Quacks and Racks Outdoors, Spotify. I think we're on Apple using the app I'm using. So kind of like I said in the intro episode, I am just a random everyday hunter throwing these podcasts out there right now. So I'm limited on equipment. I'm doing the best I can. So but yeah, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll hopefully have more topics like this going forward, and then we'll talk soon. So thank you again, and enjoy the rest of your day, week, month, and just remember, stay disciplined. It'll open the doors for endless possibilities. Thank you all. Cheers, and here's to the next one.